Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to Real Madrid Hub, your stop for all Real Madrid news. I am your host, Eric Rivera, and you can also catch me on my podcast called the Y Nada Más Podcast. It is available on Apple, on Google, on Spotify, wherever you find your favorite podcasting content. You can find me there, and I suggest you subscribe. So let's get right to it. A great article today was written by as.com. It was by Sergio Santos Chozas, and it's basically about how everything that's going on, obviously, currently with Zinedine Zidane, and it appears that the Frenchman's days are numbered. Although they say they're going to keep him on till the end of the season, it definitely seems that the club is at pretty much at odds with the Frenchman. And in this article, Santos goes on to explain this very well, as the club believes that Zidane is going in one direction and they are going in another. The biggest fracture at this point is definitely the management of the youngsters, and I believe that the straw that broke the camel's back in this case was the bombshell that Odegaard wanted to leave the team because of a lack of minutes, especially when he was considered one of the top prospects last season at Real Sociedad. But it's not only him. It's been Reguilón, Ceballos, Jovic, Brahim, Militao, at sometimes Rodrigo and Vinicius. All of these have led to the club asking themselves why Zidane continues to not use the youth and why he has no confidence in these players when what they need to continue to grow is minutes. Zidane insists on his old guard, which is Marcelo, and he's insisting on players that they do not feel are at the Real Madrid level, which consists of Marcelo, Lucas Vázquez, and Isco. When it comes to Lucas Vázquez, one of the things that we know is happening right now is the contract renewal. Modric, Sergio Ramos, and Lucas Vázquez are up for renewal. Modric and Sergio Ramos, we know that even though they are over 30, they still continue to play at a high level and do warrant an extension. However, what we have and what Sergio Santos is saying in this article is that the club, like many Madridistas, are at this point not understanding why Zidane continues to insist and pressure the club to renew Lucas Vázquez. Although he's been, strong in this season, in the last few games, and his professionalism and his love for the shirt and love for the club are undoubtable, they do not feel that Lucas Vázquez is the player that they want to have on the team, and that he is taking away minutes from players such as Rodrigo, Vinicius, and Brahim, who they believe is the future. Also, in that, continuing on with the youth, they do also feel that there is the lack of confidence in this youth has also led him to not play players like Odriozola, Militao, and Jovic, although those players did have their opportunities and have wasted them in some cases. But they do feel that Valverde and Vinicius have not been given enough minutes or given enough time to grow with the potential that they seemingly have. Valverde, I understand. I think Valverde is probably one of the best players on our team, and with the resurgence of Modric, Casemiro, and then Kroos being that, trident in the middle, Valverde has seen less minutes when he should be playing more often, considering he's such a top player. When it comes to Vinicius, I disagree with a little bit with Sergio Santos on this one. I think Vinicius has been given minutes. He's looked not as great these last few games, or a lot of games now, honestly. But the club seems to want to insist, according to Sergio Santos, on Vinicius, as they do see him as a prospect and they do want him to be playing more. But Zidane seems to have him not in high confidence or in high regard, and is leaving him on the bench. Mariano and Isco, they're also at odds with how he's handling Mariano and Isco. Mariano essentially wanted to leave the club. Mayoral and Jovic left, so now our only backup striker is Mariano, but the club does not see why Zidane is not using him more often, if he is in fact the only backup we have for an aging Benzema. And Isco is someone that, they know that he wants to leave at the end of the season, but they're not giving him enough minutes. And especially right now that they don't have Odegaard, he's going to need more minutes, and so they feel that he needs to either use him or let him go. And we're seeing that Zidane seems to have a desire to somewhat use the Malagueño a couple more times or use him more often, even though for many Madridistas, he is not playing well at all and should no longer be in a starting 11 or as part of this team. So a lot of things to extrapolate from that article there. A great article by Sergio Santos Chozas from AS.com. I suggest you guys check it out, but there's a lot of news going on, and definitely with this situation with Zidane, who knows how long he's going to stay at the helm. They do say he's going to stay on till the end of the season, but we all know things can change very rapidly. And if we continue down this route and this fracture between the club and Zidane continues, we all know that club usually wins over any individual, if not all individuals. And essentially, Zidane may be looking for a job sooner, if not later, but, it's going to happen. So that's the news for now. Thank you for listening once again to Real Madrid Hub. Please check out my podcast every Sunday night or Monday morning, Y Nada Más podcast. And also make sure to subscribe to my good friend Jota Real Madrid. His pages are Jota Real Madrid, DoctorJota, and then of course this one as well, Real Madrid Hub. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk again soon.